Morning, good morning, good morning. I hope everybody's doing well out there. My name is Thomas Taylor III, coming to you live once again from Lawrenceville, Georgia on this April 23rd, ladies and gentlemen. Yep, the 23rd of the month already. Before you know, we'll be into May. Ooh. As you can see, time waits for no one. Well, hey, my goal again is to be brief this morning. I just kind of want to talk to you about some things that's kind of been on my heart. About, do you find yourself in a situation where you're unable to make a decision, right? Because, sometimes decision making is one of the hardest things that we can do, right? Because we don't want to make the wrong decision. And then if we make a decision, it might exclude somebody inside of that decision. I look at make a decision like building a muscle, right? Like the more you make decisions, the more you're able to make decisions, right? Like the more you work on breaking down your muscles, the more you work on building your muscles, right? And kind of repetitive, right? So that's the same thing with decision making, right? And in this society where, it's fast paced, every time you turn around, everybody's on their phone, between Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all these different things. And you see all these different versions of people's lives, right? So you say to yourself, okay, you want to make some moves. You got some things in your mind that you want to do, some goals, some dreams, but everything is coming at you so fast. Do you find yourself in a position where, okay, do I go right? Do I go left? Or is there a fork in the road, on one of these songs, Renegade? It's Jay-Z and Eminem, it's a line in there, boy, that, I said, wow, he really smoked that one. Jay-Z said, when I came to a fork in the road, I went straight, right? He went straight, right? So a decision was actually made. So, if you find yourself in that position, ladies and gentlemen, where, you don't want to make the wrong decision, you're trying to make a decision, I want to give you three things, right? Just three quick things I want to share with you that hopefully will help you in making a decision. You may have a situation right now, work, life, family, where, it's very important that you, not the person next to you, not the person on this side, but you have to make a decision. And those three things are 3P's. It's power, right? Persistency, and then procrastination, right? Because sometimes we find ourselves procrastinating and not making the hard and tough decisions that we know need to be made, but we're not so sure that we should make them now. So we wait, and we wait, and then things don't change, nor do they get any better. They don't improve, right? So if you're dealing with a situation, the situation is just a situation. So a decision has to be made, and sometimes we find ourselves procrastinating on that decision because of the results that decision will produce, right? So we kind of waffle and we wait, and then time goes by. I'm working on that myself, personally, right? I'm in the process of writing a book. It's kind of been pretty difficult. I'm telling a story about changing my name, right? So for those of you who don't know, I grew up as Thomas Searles. Those who know me, back home, back around the way in New York, Central Iceland. So I grew up Thomas Searles till I was about 38 years of age, right? God kind of challenged me to change my name, right? Inside of that, in order to do that, my wife wanted me to find my father, right? So it was pretty difficult. So now I'm in the process of writing a book about that. And when I get to rough parts in the book about my life, right, I kind of get choked up, and then I just kind of, push away, right? So I'm fighting through that as well. That's why it's on my heart, to talk to you guys, because somebody might be dealing with the same that I'm dealing with, but you have to push through because there's something inside of you that other people need to know, hear, and experience, right? So procrastination is key. And as you can see, like I said, when I first came on, it's April 23rd, right? So time don't slow down and wait for us to get it together, or even wait for us to believe that we actually can accomplish the things that we say we can accomplish. No, time just keeps moving. It just keeps going, right? So the other P I want to talk about in terms of, not procrastinating and then making decisions is the power of your tongue. So somewhere, if you're reading that book, somewhere in Proverbs, it says life or death, and I said this before, is in the power of your tongue. So what does that mean, Thomas? What that means is, what are you speaking? Because sometimes we have dialogue or we have conversations with other individuals and we don't realize the significance of our words. Sometimes we just think that it doesn't matter. Like they're just words that you are articulating. So what happened if matter of fact, I'm gonna give you this example. For those of us who watched the fight last night between Davis and Garcia, right? This is perfect. If you watch some of the fight, all the different meetings, the back and forth, the jarring, the talking, right? What did Tank say? David say? What did he say? For those who know, well, those who don't know, those who don't watch boxing, those who don't care, he said that he was gonna knock Garcia out in what round? Yep, in the 7th round. He said that was it. He was going to knock him out. Now this was prior to the fight, ladies and gentlemen. Stay with me. Prior to the fight. But he spoke those words. He felt it in his spirit, and he released those words into the atmosphere, right? So when they was interviewing him last night, they said, hey, so what crystal ball was you looking in? Because you stated and you predicted that you would knock him out in the 7th round. And he knocked him out in the 7th round. He gave him this body blow underneath the rib cage. No man Garcia he tried to fight a little bit more, but he just had to take a knee, couldn't breathe, couldn't move, couldn't do nothing. Count to 10. Fight's over, ladies and gentlemen. This was last night. So he predicted power in his words. He spoke it before it happened, right? So I'm just giving you an example, and this was last night. I'm just giving you an example of how powerful your words are, right? Like you're no different than Tank Davis, than the boxer, right? Because they say, God is no respecter of person. So the laws, the universal law that I'm talking to you about in terms of speaking it, is not just for the boxer. It's for you too. So the question is, in terms of your ability to move forward, good morning, and make decisions, what are you speaking? What are you saying? Right? Are you actually speaking, I am powerful, I am strong, right? Are you speaking, I will have my first house by this time. I will have a new job by this time. I am a millionaire. Like, what are you speaking? Because there's power in your words. It's power in your tongue, right? If it wasn't in that book that we read, it wouldn't say life or death is in the power of what you speak. So no matter what it looks like, right? Because this is what happens. Sometimes we let these deceive us. We allow our eyes to trick us to thinking that our reality, like the things that we see, is the end of the story, right? The things that we're dealing with, the things that we see, we can't get over, we can't get through. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you, those things that slow us down from making those decisions are temporary. They're not permanent. They're temporary. Temporary. So can you speak, right? Like if this is a barrier and this is all that you can see, can you speak about what you can't see? Ooh, I'm going to say it again. If this is where you are in life and it's becoming a barrier to you, meaning you can't see past this barrier, okay, cool. Can you speak where you're going? Can you speak what it is that you want to obtain? Can you speak how many people you want to bless? How many people you want to help? Because while you speak it, right, that will help you overcome what you see, right? Because if you stop with just what you see, you're gonna miss the rest of the blessings on the other side for you, right? And that's very, very significant. Again, he said he gonna knock Garcia out in the 7th round. 7th round came. Commentators was talking like, okay, this is the 7th round. Okay, and then it happened. He knocked the cat out in the 7th round. Okay, I'm gonna move on because I can stay there all day, you guys, man. It's just powerful when you speak certain things over your life, over your children's life, over your family's life. It's power in that. Last thing I want to talk about is persistence. Okay. Now, persistence sometimes trips people up. Why? Because sometimes it's hard, good morning, for individuals to be persistent long enough in order to witness the results that they're trying to achieve. Why? Because this thing, ladies and gentlemen, that we're physically living called life, it shows up for everybody. Nobody gets a pass on life. Life is just life, right? Life is going to test us. Life is going to challenge us. And then life is going to reward us, right? So the question is, can you have enough persistence to override the resistance that you face on a daily basis, right? Why? I got a theory. Persistence overrides resistance because resistance comes to challenge us. But can you stay focused long enough? Can you stay consistent long enough to override the resistance, right? So persistence is what's going to help us get to those higher heights, those higher levels in life that we're trying to achieve. Just put your head down, stay focused on where you're planning on going, and just continuously stay on that path until you reach your goal. That's persistence. Now, most people have a challenge, if you will, with being consistent, long enough inside of their persistency to achieve their goals. Because when life shows up, some of us want to tap out. When life shows up, some of us want to say, why me? And I would say, why not you? Well, who do you suggest? Your neighbor, your cousin, your friend? Who do you suggest? Why not you? Why not me? Because those things that come to challenge us actually helps us and also improves our ability to obtain those particular goals, right? Because without those things, how could you actually achieve what you say you want to achieve, right? Like last week, I talked about duality, right? If there was no darkness, how could there be light, right? If there was no bad, how could there be good, right? If you couldn't fail, how could you succeed? Because failure becomes a prerequisite of success, right? So it's just staying consistent, being persistent to achieve those things that you say that you want to achieve, right? And then when you look up, guess what? You're there, right? Everybody's like, wow, how did you accomplish that? Well, I spoke it, right? There was power in the tongue, right? I was persistent, right? I was persistent. I kept going, and I didn't procrastinate, right? I didn't let the obstacles in life slow me down. I didn't let those things distract me and procrastinate and not be able to make a decision to reach those goals that you say you want to do, right? Now, I know you can do it. I know I can do it, right? It doesn't mean that it's not going to be difficult, right? Right? But I know it's necessary, right, for us to understand these 3P's in order to achieve the things that we set out to achieve. Well, hey, look, ladies and gentlemen, I could go on and on, right? But on this Sunday morning, I just kind of wanted to come in and share those things with you, especially since the fight was last night. You know, Davis predicted he'll knock him out in the 7th round. He used the power of his tongue, and it became reality, right? You know, procrastination. You know what you're supposed to do, right? Just put yourself in a position to keep moving forward, and that's persistence, right? So, hey, look, it's been a plum-pleasing pleasure as well as a privilege. My name is Thomas Taylor III. You guys go out there and make it a great day. Talk to you soon.